Kentucky Paylakes and Paylakers are now pushing back. We need to talk about this. Now, before I dive into this subject, a lot of the viewers to my videos are new to my channel, so I'm going to tell you what these trophy Paylakes are doing first. About 20 years ago, these Paylakes found that if they put big fish into their ponds, big catfish, they attract more people, they make more money. So they started doing that, and they started putting in only large catfish that were caught in the wild. Now, when they do this in these small ponds, they have to continue to restock these ponds. So they're putting 1,500 to 3,000 pounds of fish in their ponds on a weekly basis, pretty much during their season, which is spring, summer, fall. And when you do that, it depletes the wild population. The Ohio River got depleted really quick. Most of these pay lakes were in Ohio and Kentucky, and they pretty much wiped out the Ohio River. They started going south. They hit Fort Loudon. They hit Watts Bar. I mean, we've heard several YouTubers talk about how Fort Loudon isn't as good as it used to be. I will say they are in a recovery mode, and I hope the Paylakes don't start coming back down here. But after that, Tennessee created laws and Alabama about the transport of large trophy fish. It pushed some of these Paylakes to look for fish west of them on the Mississippi. Some of them continued pulling them from our waterways and down in Alabama. And then, sometime last year, a new law or rule or whatever was put into effect in Kentucky about the size of fish you can harvest. And over 10 individuals and one pay lake got fined over this rule. And some of those individuals have fines in Alabama as well because they got the fish from Alabama and transported them through Tennessee to Kentucky. Now, I don't know why Tennessee hasn't tried to find them yet. I think it's because they can't really prove that they drove through Tennessee. But if you think about it, Alabama, Tennessee, or I mean Alabama, Kentucky, you have to go through Tennessee to get to Kentucky. So they got these fish in Alabama. They traveled through Tennessee into Kentucky, breaking laws in 3 different states. And now they are pushing back, trying to get the law changed. Let me put up this letter right here that I found on Facebook. And it says, "We formally request the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife to remove its regulations regarding the length of harvested large catfish." Now, obviously, if you look through this, it doesn't say anything about pay lakes because they're going in the direction of the restaurants. Now that you can't harvest large catfish, it's hurting the restaurants. This is like the worst. This is ridiculous. We all know these larger catfish have more contaminants in it, and any commercial fisherman that wants to sustain a population of eater-sized catfish, they're going to release the breeders back into the water because if you take everything out of the water over time, you're not going to, you're going to hurt your own business, period. I will say it does say like, it's going to hurt commercial fishing, but it's not because of the restaurants. Most of the restaurants, they get their fish from fish farms. And that means it's not really going to hurt the commercial fishermen except for the ones that are catching the large trophy fish for pay lakes. So they are up in arms. They don't want to lose that money. I mean, they get paid more money for large catfish to put in a pay lake than they would ever be paid for a restaurant. period, because that's that kind of money we're talking about, which also means that's what we're up against. Money. These guys, these Paylakes, these commercial guys that are feeding the Paylakes, they want to keep their revenue. And it is understandable from a business perspective. You want your business to continue on, you want to continue making money. I'm a fishing guide. Yes, I have, you know, I'd like to put my clients on bigger fish, and it's hard to do because the Pay Lakes pretty much wiped out the big fish in my lakes. They're recovering now. I'm getting more big fish than ever, and I don't want these guys coming back down here to get fish to put into Kentucky Pay Lakes or Ohio Pay Lakes. They're going to do it regardless, even if it is against the law. They're trying to change it in Kentucky. We just got Kentucky to do something, and they finally did. They fined a bunch of individuals. A Paylake got in trouble, and now we have this petition that's going on to reverse what we have finally got Kentucky to do. And we need Ohio to do this as well. We need Ohio to put a length limit on catfish and even put in no transport rules. That would help, everything everywhere. However, some of these pay lakes, you just don't care. And this is, I know it doesn't read as if it's rooted in the Pay Lakes, but it smells of Pay Lake all over it. And I'm sure quite a few of you know what a Pay Lake smells like when you get near one. It smells really bad. And it's because they're wheelbarrowing out fish every single day because they cannot survive in those ponds. Now they do have another jab in here about people calling them trophy fish. They're saying pretty much that they're not a sport fish. So they're actually, trying to say that it's a rough fish, that there's no such thing as a trophy, and this, that, and the other. They're 100% wrong. When you have these big fish, they're a trophy fish, period. It doesn't matter if it's a carp or if it's a catfish, if it's a bass, if it's a pike. When they get to enormous size, that's a trophy. It's also a breeder. Those big ones, they produce more fry than anything else. And I'm talking about fish fry. And if you want to have a healthy system, you need the big fish populating that system. And this is just basic stuff that everybody already knows. I mean, what I'm saying is stuff you already know. That's these pay lakes, they already know. 90% of people who fish for catfish, 99% of people who fish for catfish understand all of this and already know what I'm talking about here. I'm repeating stuff that is known. And here we are with the Paylakes and Paylakers trying to reverse something that we finally got in place to help with the conservation of large catfish. Conservation is a conservative thing, and Paylakes are something else. Now, there is one more bad thing about this petition. It's in writing. This is not an online petition or anything. This one is in writing. So these individuals are taking these to door to people in their homes who might not even have a clue what's going on. They read this and they're like, oh, we need to protect our restaurants. So they're 100% willing to sign this because they think it's about the restaurants. And in reality, it's not about the restaurants. So it is a very deceptive piece of paper and it will be easy for them to get as many signatures as they ever need on it, because your common folk that when you're going door to door won't realize that this is actually the Paylakes and Paylakers trying to sneak something past, everybody. And if you're in Kentucky, please email your senators, email everybody, email the wildlife agency, and tell them that this is not what this is for. This is the Paylakes pushing back, and we need to stop this. I'm in Tennessee. I can't really do anything. I mean, I might email them anyway as a Tennessee resident that has seen what these Kentucky and Ohio Paylakes have done to my own waterways. But it's stronger when it's people in Kentucky that are pushing against this, that's pushing against the rules that we finally got into place. And here I am yet again with another Paylake video for the shenanigans these guys pull. I really don't know what else to say. If you have any ideas or comments to say about this situation, leave a comment below. And as always, I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day to actually watch this video. I really, really appreciate it. And I just can't believe they're trying this. And I have no words now. So it is what it is. Let's hope they don't get it reversed. Thanks again for watching. I hope to see you next time.